make a difference in their life and just change one thing. Start with one thing. That's the part. You gotta start with action. Starting means doing something. Just take that leap, bet on yourself, and it will pay off in the end. Welcome, everybody, to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the Leaders Leading Leaders podcast. I am your host, John Espinosa. Thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate the time that you take to listen to the podcast. If you enjoy what you're hearing, do me a favor. Share it with one friend or one family member or one teammate or your spouse. It helps us meet our mission of getting others to where they are going. So today I want to talk to you all about a question I've been receiving quite a bit over the past maybe 2 to 3 months. And we've been at this podcast now probably for 5 months. And I've really taken a concerted effort since the beginning of the new year to change little things, whether it's habits, my mental health, my physical health, what I'm eating, how I'm sleeping, all those things when it comes to putting me first. And it was tough. I'm a fixer. I'm a helper. I'm very people oriented. I love to help people. But I realized that if I didn't take care of myself as a father, as a spouse, as a leader, that there was no way I was going to be able to take care of others or even be around to take care of others. So what I want to talk to you all about today is my theme, and it's not really anything new. You've heard it before. Garbage in, garbage out. What we put in is going to be a direct correlation of what comes out. And it could be effort. It could be work, it could be diet, it could be what you consume, social media-wise, it could be who you hang around with. And we're going to talk about all those things, and I'm going to share a little bit and maybe a little vulnerable with you all. A couple things that I had to do for me to get myself in the right mindset and become healthy again. During COVID, we were stuck in the house, made a lot of excuses around what I was eating, the lack of sleep I was getting, alcohol consumption, maybe, sleep deprivation a lot of times. Working from home, it was a lot easier to sleep right till you had to get up for work. Used to get up, an hour to hour and a half. And there was just a lot of things that I didn't like. So I had to change them. And that's why I think I get a lot of questions, because now people are seeing them. I'm not a big boaster. I don't go out and tell people a lot about my changes that I made. But people are beginning to see, whether it's my weight loss or being around me, how I talk, how I think, how I lead. I've become a better leader. I've become a better father, a better spouse, a better friend. So there's a lot of things that are byproducts of the work you put in. And it wasn't immediate. And that's the thing with the garbage in, garbage out, is you may not see the bad things you're putting in as well as the good things and how they're impacting you and others around you until a month, maybe 30, 45, 60, 70 days down the road. So the one thing, though, that I always tell people, and I think this has been a big part of my success, is consistency. Never miss 2 days in a row. Exercise. If I miss a day, I don't miss 2 days in a row. Diet. If I eat bad one day, I don't eat bad 2 days in a row. If I don't listen or read an audiobook, or I'm not consuming, being mindful of what I'm ingesting social media wise, don't do it 2 days in a row. It's pretty easy when you think about it. Just don't miss 2 days. And as long as you can kind of keep that mentality going, it will help you be consistent. And I'm not big on setting low goals, low standards, but to get going, I told myself just 15 minutes of sweat. Go out, do 15 minutes of an exercise or a walk that you are going to sweat, that your heart rate elevates and you are going to sweat. Where I'm going is there's a lot of things that I mentally had to commit to. And then I really had to be aware of what was coming in mentally, physically, and spiritually, who I was surrounding myself around. And I don't know if anyone out there may be in that same spot. You may even have everything that you could possibly want. You have the house, you have the kids, you have the car, and something just doesn't feel right. You have the health. That's really your body telling you that you may need to change. There may need to be something that's coming in that's impacting what's going out. So I'm going to dig into 4 things that I changed intentionally over the past 5 months, and I've seen great value from. So let's dig into the first one, which this one, I was always a good eater. It's diet. I never had Coke around the house. Even when my older 2 kids were growing up, and now that my 16-year-old is in the house, we don't have a lot of sweets. We don't have a lot of carbonated beverages or sugary type substances. But a lot of what we were doing, or a lot of what I was doing, was the times that I was eating, or when I ate, I had a couple beers or a drink and so then I have a big meal, and now, those calories start adding up. Or maybe it was late at night. We have practices or whatever's going on during the day, and we got in late, and what did we do? We stopped by a McDonald's, and I'm like, well, I'll get a grilled chicken. That's healthy. Things that I was telling myself, it's okay. You're too busy. You can do this. You can eat a Subway sandwich. You can eat a McDonald's. You can eat Chick-fil-A, whatever. Where we stopped, it was okay because I was busy. I was making excuses. And the first thing that I did was I had to cut that out. I had to cut out the processed foods. I started fasting. I don't eat from about 10 p.m. at night to noon or 1 p.m. the next day. I try to make it till 1. Depends on my schedule, on how, if I got meetings that are soon after lunch, then I normally eat at noon. But if I don't have anything in the afternoon till 2 or 3, I'll go ahead and wait till that 1 o'clock. So I fasted for at least 13 to 14 hours, and I do that 5 days a week. I do coffee in the morning and then a lot of water. That was the other big part, was water. We don't drink enough water, and I was trying to ingest as much water as I possibly could. And that was showing through just not feeling dehydrated, my mouth not being dry, my skin. I mean, you can tell, again, it doesn't happen just overnight, but slowly but surely your body starts to adapt to the good things that you're putting into it. A lot of nuts and berries, even when I would snack, it wasn't potato chips, or I do beef jerky, that type of things. And I keep that stuff around me. I go to the store and I have a cabinet at work. People know they can come in the office. I got a cabinet with healthy snacks. I do yogurts. I started drinking kombucha. My sister talked me into it back in December. We were at my grandmother's funeral, and she said, you know what? I've been drinking kombucha, and I found some good benefits from it. I started that. It's helped me, the gut health, but I am seeing benefits. So that's the first thing. I was putting garbage in to my body through food, and I was getting garbage out. I didn't have the energy. I couldn't lose the weight, but now that I am putting better food in, I am seeing the benefits of that. So that was the first thing. The second thing that I took very seriously, and again, all these things, I thought I was doing a pretty good job. I just wasn't being consistent with it, and it was my mindset. I'm a pretty positive person. I always like to see the light at the end of the tunnel, the glass half full. So there was times when I would get in a negative mindset, and then I'd go talk to somebody, and guess what? They would get negative. Have you ever experienced that, where you may be in a bad mood and the other person you're talking to is neutral mood or a good mood, and you start talking to them, and then what happens? You both start complaining. You start complaining about something and they start complaining about something. I quickly just stopped. I stopped complaining. I stopped with my negative mindset. I stopped consuming negative social media. I stopped listening to the radio. And these are things that I did personally. I'm not saying that you have to go do these things, but a lot of what I did was to take that negativity that I was hearing, that I was ingesting, and the negativity that I was coming out with, I stopped it. I spend 30 minutes of personal development a day, and I do way more than that, but I at least do 30 minutes a day through audiobooks, through podcasts, journaling. Maybe it's mentoring and coaching. That's 30-minute self-development for me because I'm learning and they're learning. So I changed the things around me because that was impacting my mindset, what I was listening to, what I was seeing on the news or through social media. And the other thing, third thing, are the people that you surround yourself with. So one thing that I learned was my network was my net worth. So the people that I was surrounding myself with, that's what I was consuming. The information, their attitudes, their beliefs. The people I was surrounding myself with, you assimilate. Are you surrounding yourself with people who are 10s, or are you surrounding yourself with people who are 5? Because you're only going to attract people at your level or below. So what number are you? And then look around to your closest friend circle, peer circle, work team circle. We might not always have the choice there, but still look around. Are you a 5? Because you probably got 5s and below around you. Or are you striving to be a 10? Because that's when you'll see the 8s and the 9s and the 10s sit around you. And what that looks like, it's not a lot of complaining going on, a lot of problem solving. How are we going to address these problems? We lift each other up. We encourage each other. It's not like, what are you doing, John? Are you crazy? It's like, John, I am proud of you. That's a great job for going out there and trying that. It just changes. And what does it do? Again, garbage in, garbage out. If you are consuming negative people's mindsets and you're even listening to that negativity, we're human beings. We want to be compassionate. We want to be empathetic. So what are we going to do? We're going to jump right in there with them. But if you have a positive person who's always positive and you're around positivity, it just breeds positivity. Iron sharpens iron. Get around the people who are pushing you to be better. When I go out and eat and we order food, here's another thing. I sit around the table and what are they ordering? Are they ordering healthy food? Even that, just that little bit, when I started going out to lunch and surrounding myself with other people, they were eating healthier. So I felt like I needed to eat healthier, right? We pushed each other. So your network is your net worth. And then last but not least was my daily habits. I had my non-negotiables, my 30 minutes of professional development, my 30 minutes of sweat. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's how I convince myself to get out there and get it done. I connect with at least 3 people a day. I could be riding an elevator at work and somebody's riding it up with me and I say hello and I ask them how their day's going. I tell them to have a great day. I'm connecting with that person. A lot of times we walk around with our heads down or, our face in our phone or earbuds in and we don't connect with anybody. And then last but not least, spend some time just focusing on myself. Mindfulness, 30 minutes of at least mindfulness. That could be journaling, that could be going on my gratitude walks that I've been going on and focusing on my mindset consciously. Putting a number to it and focusing on it daily. So just those little daily habits are compounding. And now 5 months later, I am seeing upward trends, benefits. I still have bad days. I still fall off the wagon. But remember what I said earlier. Don't have 2 bad days in a row. Get back on the wagon. Go back and do your exercising. Go back and start your professional development. Go back and do whatever you said you were going to do that you missed, that you gave an excuse to yourself. It's okay. I'm too tired. It's okay. I worked all day. It's okay. I traveled today. Don't miss 2 days in a row. That's how you're going to keep those daily habits and start seeing consistency and start seeing results. I've been getting a lot of questions and a lot of people saying, hey, John, I see you doing well. You look great. Even my doctor, I went in for my annual checkup and they were like, you look great. And I feel great. I do. I'm 44 years old and I feel better now than I did in my 20s and my 30s. And I can truly say it's because of the intentionality that I have given to making sure that I take care of myself. And others are reaping the benefits. They're beginning to see those things. They're beginning to feel those things. From my family to my coworkers to team, it will happen. I promise you. Stick with the system, stay consistent, and it will work. Work on yourself. Put yourself first, and then go pour into others. I hope this helps somebody make a difference in their life. And just change one thing. Start with one thing. That's the part. You gotta start with action. Starting means doing something. Just take that leap. Bet on yourself, and it will pay off in the end. Go be great. We'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye. If you enjoy what you're hearing, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us get others to where they're going.